Wow, what an amazing voice. We've got such a special guest joining us live in studio this morning. Just got back from Los Angeles a couple of days ago, Miss Sophie Saylor. She just competed on Netflix's Star Search, and we are honored to now have you live in our studio this morning. Sophie, thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Yes, so first just give us the background. How long have you been singing? And tell us about your journey to making it on Star Search.
Oh my gosh, hold on guys. Let me lock in, hold on. I gotta like not talk forever, I'm such a yapper. So obviously of course, I started singing like actually legitimately when I was 9. Of course I've always like, sang in the shower and Little Mermaid and everything else. The era of Little Mermaid was crazy. But I mainly started singing when I was about 8 or 9 when we did the Lumberjacks games where Andy O'Reilly got me like hooked up and we did all that. And I posted that video of me singing the National Anthem. I think we were watching like the Cubs in the background and the guy singing, apparently judgy little old me thought he wasn't good. I don't know. I was really mean. I was like, he's not very good. I was like, I can do better. They're like, okay, ego, like, okay, girl, whatever. But
and here we are. I love that because Dave talked about that.
I was there. You probably don't recognize me because I had hair then. This is about a decade plus ago, but I remembered how nervous you were. Andy was actually kind of talking you off the ledge before, and I think I even mentioned like I have no idea how this is gonna go. And it's one of those things where if it goes off the just completely goes sideways, you remember that as a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you belted it out and it was like, oh my God, that's one of the best renditions of the National Anthem I ever heard. And you were like 8.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. Sophie, do you mind sharing your age now? How old are you now?
I am 18.
Wow.
I turned 19 in July, so I'm about halfway through.
I mean, I say wow because to hear how soulful and how mature your voice sounds, I mean, that is pretty incredible. Okay, so how did you find your way on Star Search? How did that happen?
So I started posting on TikTok about a couple years ago, sophomore year of high school. And I did it to make my ex mad because I was upset that he broke up with me, and like
you
I was
showed
like,
him, Sophie.
and did. I know he's sitting on his couch right now, probably no job. That's a whole other thing. But that's irrelevant.
It's okay. You didn't name names. You're
no,
fine.
I didn't. It's fine.
I love that you have such a great personality. I gotta say, I wasn't expecting that.
Thank
Sophie.
you. No, so I posted on TikTok just with not the intention to like blow up. I was just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna post this video of singing this song that was a significant moment in our relationship, And it ended up accidentally going viral, and I was like, oops, I didn't mean for that to happen. So then I just kind of kept posting, and I posted for a couple years, and a casting producer got a hold of me and was like, come on the show. I did an audition. I was invited on the show.
So you were selected. You didn't have to compete against anybody
so
to get
cool.
out.
Yes.
Sophie. Oh my goodness.
It was pretty awesome to be able to do that. Because I know, auditioning processes is really hard to get on the show when you audition for certain things.
It says a
from
lot
what
about
I've
your
heard,
skill
so
that you didn't have to audition.
Yeah, it is crazy. And I mean, I at first didn't really want to go on the show. Like at first I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I have to uproot my whole life and I have to leave my job and my home.
How long were you in LA?
So I left on like January something. I don't know.
Okay.
Like towards the beginning of January. I've been gone for a little over 3 weeks. So almost a month, which is, wow, that's a long time to be away from home. Because like,
it's not like you moved there. You're going there temporarily.
Yeah, I had to stay in a hotel room like with my mom and my stepdad for 3 weeks in one room, and I was like, oh my God. And I love being alone. Like I like to just be alone sometimes. I just want to be in my room by myself without anyone speaking to me. So it was definitely a little
A little
challenging to be trapped in a room. I mean, obviously I love them so much, but you know.
Sophie, I love that you have
too much time together.
Such a great personality. Another really amazing part of your story you shared with us in the last hour, you are actually visually impaired.
Yes.
How did that affect your process, if it did at all? And how amazing for you to be showing people around the world, I mean, hey, look what I'm still able to do.
It was complicated. I don't necessarily think it like affected the process. I think it more of was a little scary for me because I was going into a competition where stage presence is everything. And obviously it's really hard for me to have that stage presence because of my vision, because I ain't trying to like fall off the stage and like break a rib or something. So I kind of have to work with what I got. And a lot of my competitors were very big on stage presence. So it was definitely
Well, let me
difficult.
say it was there. I mean, in the clip that
I
we
tried.
just saw, I mean, beautiful dress, the curls, you've got the stage presence.
Yes,
you got it.
thank you.
And Jelly Roll actually pointed out how that actually may have helped you because the focus was all on you. It was all specifically on your voice, which again, it's just an undeniable God-given talent that you have. And I like you look at somebody like Billie Eilish, who's won 10 Grammys.
Right.
Jelly Roll's won 7. You do a Billie Eilish song and you do it better than Billie Eilish. It was insane. It was one of those, you just, even at Jelly Roll, so you can't fake the authenticity and the focus on that and on your voice and just staying in it. It was all stripped down. It was just your voice and it was absolutely amazing.
Thank you. And I feel like even if I wasn't visually impaired, I think I still wouldn't focus on stage presence because stage presence can give an exciting show, but like what's the point of being excited if you're not feeling anything? Like I was just like, man, you can jump around the stage all you want.
You really wanted to focus on the vocals.
Yeah, the vocals are the most important, and obviously if you can dance and sing at the same time, I don't know how you're like Jesus. I don't know how you do that. Like you're being blessed by something that's unheard of. I don't know how you could ever dance and sing at the same time. So props to anyone who can do that.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, you had already performed in front of big audiences before, even just singing the National Anthem as a child. What was it like performing on that stage, knowing that all of Netflix viewers were tuning in, they could vote on your performance? What was that like?
It was very different, I think. Like, I mean, it didn't feel different while performing, because I'm used to performing on a stage, but it was kind of intimidating because, like, you think about it, like, Jelly Roll and Sarah Michelle Gellar and Chrissy Teigen are sitting there. I'm like, these are big people. So that was pretty nuts to actually, like, be in the same room. Like, they're judging me. Like, I've never been in front of an audience where I'm actually being judged. And that, I mean, I have, but not, like, as serious, intense of judging where not only the judges are judging me, but also the people watching. Like the people are watching to give me a score, which I love being critiqued personally, which is not a skill everyone has, but I personally enjoy being critiqued. I think it makes me better. So I was kind of hoping to get a little bit more feedback from the judges of things I could change, but they didn't really have anything to say, which is definitely a compliment.
Except for that you're amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like, absolutely just talented. I know we've used the term here quite a bit that you are just a powerhouse singer. Can you talk a little bit about how you picked through some of those songs?
I was very picky about my song choice. For my third and last performance, I changed my song 3 times because I was very picky. And obviously you have to get the song like cleared by the artist as well to be able to sing it. So that could get complicated depending. But obviously the first I did What Was I Made For? And I did that song because though it's not a vocally extremely powerful song, emotionally it is. And I was like, well, I want to come in and show that though I don't have a lot of stage presence and though I'm not used to being on such a big stage, the emotion makes a good impression, and I want people to know who I am and who I am, what I stand for, and what I want to be.
Isn't that the song you made Jelly Roll cry on?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
he was borderline blubbering on that. Yeah.
Well, I loved what you were talking about in the last hour. I asked about your favorite celebrity interacting with, and you named someone I wasn't even considering.
Yes, Anthony Anderson.
He's the host of the show.
Yes, I literally loved meeting him. He was so kind and helpful and actually really, really funny too. I mean, I've watched like Malibu's Most Wanted and everything, so like he's funny in that movie, but like he was actually just like really funny in real life, and I was like kind of scared because like you're meeting a celebrity, and I didn't really interact with the judges at all. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to, but I did get to interact with Anthony, and he was great.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of talking too about how far you got in the competition, because you definitely made some major strides in the competition. Can you kind of tell people at home who maybe don't know what point you got to and what you learned up to that point?
Yeah, I mean, I did 3 performances. I beat 2 challengers, and I did lose last week. It was like 3 days ago. But I don't know, man. I'm in a whole nother universe right now. But it was very intimidating to walk in to the first. Like, what I walked into was very intimidating, obviously, because the first episode, Bear and Jelly Roll had that huge moment. And that was extremely intimidating to walk into because, he has a lot of fans and he had a lot more followers than me. And Jelly was, like, obsessed with him. And I was like, oh, guys, I'm cooked. Like, oh, no. Like, this is really hard to walk into. And that song was very important to me, and I had to bring that because I was like, if I'm only going to be here 1 episode, I have to sing the best and most favorite song that I have, which is why I chose to sing that. And then when I ended up winning, some people were happy, some people were mad. It's the internet. People say whatever. But it felt like an honor, honestly, because in my head, I felt like I had no chance of winning that. And so when I did, I was like, God, I did that. Like, how did I do that? And I was genuinely shocked beyond anything.
I think one of the reasons you got it is because, and Jelly Roll hit the nail on the head with the authenticity. You made that your own. And regardless of whether or not it was originally done by a Grammy Award-winning vocalist, it was your song in that moment, and that's what I think carried you through. And then at the very end, and I got to say this, and Andy and I were talking about it on our podcast the other day.
Yeah.
The fact that you ended up getting beat by a guy who needed an entire gospel choir behind him. You didn't lose to an individual solo act, and God bless the guy. He was great. But when you've got a backing choir and going against literally just you, was there a little bit, no disrespect to him at all, but were you a little bit bothered by that?
I mean, I definitely have opinions, but at the end of the day, I think, Spud was amazing. And, I'm not going to, the choir did make me feel insecure, but I definitely think that he did great, and I got my little string quartet, and if, the choir was necessary for his performance, I definitely think it added a great element. But I mean, I did what I did, and I knew that I did great either way. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm good. It doesn't bother me too much. I think that at first, I was a little insecure about it, but I mean, Spud did amazing, and I did amazing, and he ended up pulling through, and that's okay. We're good, and I think I'm happy with the outcome either way because I know that even though I won't win the show, I still got
it
was a showcase.
You definitely made an imprint, and that's what I wanted to say. We've seen with these reality TV shows, it's not always the winner that goes on to have the most amazing career. You talked about some people not being happy, some people being happy about your win and your success. We were thrilled, and we have been rooting you on the entire time, and we still are. We know you have great things coming your way, Sophie. Can't thank you enough for being here with us live in studio. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're back right after this.